So we are here at a AMC theater. We're gonna see Civil War. You're gonna get a drink first? All right, go ahead. We're gonna cut back shortly in the video.
One eternity later.
So yeah, we're on our way to see Civil War. And here we go. Are you ready? All right. What?
I was gonna put a bit of butter.
Are you freaking serious?
So we just got back from watching Civil War, written and directed by Alex Garland. So right off the bat, let's do spoilers for the movie. I'll be honest, this movie is really good. I might love this movie. I think it might be one of my favorite movies. But this movie feels different. This is distributed by A24, and it's made by Alex Garland's production company, DNA Films, which I have seen them for quite a while. But what are the things that we liked about Civil War? Let's do that. I guess I would say the sound design was insane. Because let's be honest, we both shared we shot rifles.
Yep.
In our local governor's ranch.
But it's like, whenever it's like you hear that loud bullet go off,
Like the
even without those headsets.
Yeah, even like without the little headsets or the little things that you put on your ears.
Even if you take like things really.
Because the thing that what I liked about the sign, or even if it's dubbed, because usually it's not like Michael Mann where he uses blanks to convey the audience.
Yep.
The way so there's a scene in the trailer, which you might have seen it, where what's the actor's name who's married to Kirsten Dunst? I think it's Jesse Plemons. Yeah.
Jesse Plemons, I believe.
Yeah. So he's from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
But there's that one scene where he says like, "What kind of American are you?"
Okay. What kind of American are you?
That scene was that scene was like the best part of the movie.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, oh no.
No, I won't feel like my heart was like pounding.
What kind of American are you?
Which is interesting considering that because here's what's funny is that when I was looking at the Western forces, you notice how they have their patches, and notice how they have the two stars composed of California and of course Texas.
Yep.
But what's interesting is that those soldiers that we saw that saying that what kind of American are you? They weren't soldiers. They were hillbillies dressed up as militaries.
Yep.
Which is interesting since we do live in a world where some people may have taken influence from government culture, government army, the news and the riots.
Yep.
Because keep in mind, there's no sides in this movie. Like, there's no good guys, no bad guys.
There wasn't.
It's just a civil war, as the title says it right here. But what about the characters? What do we think of them? Let's start with you. Hold on, let's move over here because it's playing there.
Sorry about that. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut this back. Hold on a sec, guys. All right, so we moved down a bit. So go ahead. What about the characters?
I would say the characters have their unique perspective and their motives.
Yeah, But I feel like I guess one thing I agree, because most reviews say that the characters are not well developed or unlikable.
Unlikable, yep.
Because I'll be honest, Kirsten Dunst's character is kind of unlikable at times. I get that she's playing like this journalist who experienced the effects of war, because she's like a journalist. But at times I'm like, why are you being such a dick about it? Like, because I get that in this perspective of the
alternate time
of the United States.
Yeah.
But it's like, at what point do you have to be civilized? Because I think the thing that what makes this different with some war movies like this is that, again, there's no There's no signs, no good guys, nor bad guys.
It's just
It's just a civil war. But at times you want the characters to be interesting because I didn't find these characters interesting, like one bit.
likable.
Well, they are. I'll admit, Jessie, the character of Jessie, she's
Yeah.
likable, and
Yeah, I'll
and-
give her that,
but it's like at times, I don't know why they're in this situation because
Yeah.
at the end of the movie, spoilers, guys, they killed the president. I'm like, so that motive of they want to interview the president didn't go nowhere.
so they just
Cause I was thinking, cause like,
Get it
who's
out.
that character? That one character, who's the beard?
Wagner
Wa-
Mora
Yeah, Wagner Moore's character. Cause the thing about
plays
that,
Joel.
yeah, Joel, that's his name, Joel.
Yep.
Cause when Joel was talking to the president, I was like, is he gonna? I assume that he's gonna interview him, and
I'm assuming.
and I guess the Western forces are gonna be like, you got 5 minutes.
Yep.
And from there, I'm like, okay, so I guess they're gonna explain like what sort of divided the United States, because again, there's 4 alliances, but the movie doesn't explain like how it started. It's sort of like,
but all we know
it
was
sort of just begins. It's sort of like that middle chapter, like you skipped a first chapter of the book.
all they know is just about the disband of
The FBI and a few constitutions written out. So
from the United States.
and and there was another point that they mentioned was dropping airstrikes on civilians, which I think it would likely was the riots, because you know how riots do lead up to the SWAT team, the police. But I think that would have been the case, and there was another point that they say that the president has made 3 mistakes, if I remember. But the movie doesn't sort of explain it. They don't say it.
Yeah.
But I think it does. For me, it doesn't work because you want the audience to be invested in this world,
True.
and I feel like that's the issue. I feel like that's one issue I didn't like about the movie. That's my second issue for the characters. But my second issue is that the movie doesn't know where it's going to be at. Like, it sort of doesn't know like a point A to point B. It's sort of like this happens. The characters have to go to DC, to the White House. But the movie doesn't show us the effects of like, what about the UK, China,
Yeah.
or parts from Africa. Like, you would think that
even Australia.
Australia, I want to see what's also affecting the world with this war-torn civil war.
Yep.
Because I feel like the movie doesn't show us that, but I feel like it's up to our imagination. But I feel like that part doesn't work for me. It's sort of like you need to explain it, like, because when the movie begins
Yep.
with the A24 logo, I was hoping that, okay, maybe they're gonna throw an exposition dump, like, this is what happened, the president did this, yada yada. But in the movie just starts off like with the president, but I'm like,
giving a speech.
yeah, but I feel like it doesn't work as well, because like the movie start like, it's like we already watched, like we're missing, like we skipped an episode, like a TV show. It felt like that, but it
felt
doesn't work
like-
like that.
That's what I was gonna say. It didn't work. How it
Yeah,
was
like
supposed to.
I better hope, like, because I was thinking, like, am I the only one who thinks that the movie sort of like skip forward the events? Like, it's not to say I don't hate this movie. I love it. I think this might one of my favorite movies of this year,
enjoy
and
this
my favorite movie of all time. But the movie doesn't have like a beginning. It sort of has like a second act that's been
Yeah.
stretched, and once we get to DC, it's like a third chapter, or the third act. It sort of doesn't have it doesn't really have a first act. Like, we do know the characters, but we don't care about them. That's the thing, though, that I didn't like about the movie, is that I didn't care of their situation. They're sort of just there. They're war journalists.
Yep.
But I feel like that's the only 2 things I didn't like. But let's talk about the sound design and the guns. It's like when the buildings explode, it's when like the sound comes in.
A bunch of rubble and pieces of.
And then
that
you hear,
building,
and I like the detail where they're shooting, and
like how they aim.
and the way, and here's one detail is that like you hear the bullets like hit the floor.
Yeah.
And this movie has really good sound design. I don't know
And
who
not
did.
only that, I've noticed about how the reloading, how they do.
Yeah, they like, no, because these are
Like
military forces.
usually like they would drop it.
Yeah, they would
But
drop
if
it.
you go to like any gun range, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Just hold the mag,
Yeah, like you gotta hold it and then grab a magazine
because
pouch on
if
you.
you drop it or something,
Yeah.
a bullet may go off.
Yeah,
or something.
because there was a scene, spoilers, where Kirsten Dunst's character dies, and notice how there's bullets that have the little pointer.
Yeah.
So I assume that they like some of the rifles got jammed, or we didn't see it, but it's like that.
Yep.
Because we do know that in this universe, or in this timeline, I would say, this is a military militia that said, you know what, we want to kill the president.
Yep.
But here's one thing that I feel like there's a third thing I didn't like about the movie was the ending. Like they kill the president, but what happens then?
So like what? Doesn't that mean the war?
Yeah,
is
it's
over?
because they did say the movie. They did say that the government has surrendered.
Yep.
But the movie, but they don't explain. But they don't explain like how did they surrender. It's sort of just like
Ended.
It
you
happened.
Got the critics rolling in.
because I was thinking like when Joel was about to interview the president, I was thinking like, is he gonna say like, what do you think of this whole conflict? But no, they straight up just murdered his
him.
ass. Which like,
This got me thinking.
What?
Like, they didn't even think about like the war's over or something.
yeah, because that I feel
Before
like
next thing you know,
Yeah.
the critics rolling.
because that's the thing with the movie is that it really doesn't have an ending. It sort of just ends suddenly. I'm like, but what happens during the time? Like, what about like, does this mean like someone will step in to be the president, or how long will this affect the Civil War? Since the Western Forces mission is kill the president, but it sort of doesn't have like a what happens then or a conclusion.
This got me thinking of the
Yeah.
Florida Alliance's goal.
And that's another thing is that we see the Florida Alliance, but we don't see the loyalist. What is it called?
The loyalist states.
The loyalist states, which we do see at the White House, but we don't see the Western Alliance because that's from
Western forces.
No, we saw them, but there was another one, and I'll put it. Correct me if I'm wrong about this. I'll put it in here, but the movie doesn't really have an ending. It's sort of like Kirsten Dunst dies, and I'll be honest, when she died, I was like,
I was like,
meh. I mean, I was not surprised by it.
I was.
She sort of dies. I'm like, okay, well,
That's
moving
crazy.
on, I guess. Like, there's no like when.
You know, it's interesting she didn't get a flashback like from her life or anything. How it kind of.
And here's the thing. One nitpick is that when they're in the battle against the where they're trying to shoot the president, or
President.
they're trying to get to the president, notice how no one wears any like protected like helmets, which is funny because we saw the Western forces and the Florida Alliance shooting each other, and they're wearing like helmets.
True.
I feel like in something like that, you wear like something to protect your head, like from debris or from bullets ricocheting off.
Yep.
But yeah. So what are the things that you didn't like about the movie?
All I could say was like, kind of like the characters, like you said,
Yeah, like
from Kristen Dunst.
Kristen Dunst, because she's a good actress.
She is a good actress,
but her character's sort of
character is-
unlikable. Like at times you're thinking like, why are you?
It's like she experienced war, like she
Yeah,
doesn't
because
have
they
that
do
much-
they do show a flashback, but it doesn't explain like how like we get it that in this timeline or this alternate version, war has broken out, and we see like characters trying to survive. We see civilians moving out. Like we see their like on top of their SUVs, they have beds, clothing, but the movie doesn't explain like what sort of caused the conflict. Again, they did say that the president has disbanded the FBI and wrote off the 3 constitutions of
the United States.
and later in the movie, the government surrenders. But what type of surrender? Is it because of the conflict or the chaos that's going on with what the Western forces?
That got me thinking.
It
about
like
that.
it sort of it
like
misses
what
the
kind of surrender you're trying to. Get
I assume that they killed them on site, but the movie doesn't offer that. It sort of just says that they surrendered.
Yep.
But yeah, but no, but that scene where Jesse Plemons' character, he was good. Like notice how here's the thing. Like notice how the Western forces have their patches.
Yep.
Yeah, the 2-star flags. They were like,
And not only that, we even saw like a clear flag, like
yeah,
with
in
2
the
stars.
in the trailer. But here's what's funny is that in the beginning of the movie, where one of the characters has all the stars of the current United States flag,
Flag,
they blow up. So I'm assuming that originally at this period in time, it was all the states, but due to their disagreements with the president, it must have aligned with California and Texas.
Yep.
But what sort of gave them alliance? I feel like that's another thing, is that they don't explain like what sort of like agreements joined the California and Texas, because in reality that would be Florida and Texas.
Yep.
But that's one nitpick I do. But this movie, and another thing, I like the cinematography. The cinematography was good.
Yep, I would agree with that.
Like, I know that this movie was filmed in digital cameras, but which I don't mind. But like, this movie is really well shot. Like, there's some shots where there's one shot in the movie that I like where the Western Forces helicopters are moving up, like they're taking off, and they have their convoys. That part of that shot was great. Like, Alex Garland knows how to like shoot. But the only thing that holds it back is the screenplay. I feel like there are in certain parts that did not work, and I feel like some parts that it sort of like drags on and on and on. But yeah, I feel like those are the only things I didn't like. But on top of that, this movie is really good. I loved it. So if we have to review our movie, review Civil War, how much would we give it?
Me, would give it a 9 out of 10.
I'll give it an 8 out of 10, as I said, the things I didn't like. And for stars, I'm gonna give it 4 stars out of 5.
Me, I would just say 4. 4 out.
Yeah, this is a really put together movie, but it's sort of missing some layers of the story. But yeah.
Yep.
But let's look at the posters in the meantime. So we got If from writer and director John. I'm sorry if I pronounced his name, but Krasinski, yeah. And I noticed he's producing it, and Andrew Ford, who is part of the Platinum. I think he was part of Platinum Dunes.
Yeah.
And this is distributed by Paramount Pictures.
You got the full cast right here.
Ryan Reynolds and Steve Carell. I don't know about, this might not be my movie because, like I said, I prefer movies that sort of like give me something to go see it. So let's take a look at one movie that I'm excited to see. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Can I just say, I just seen the trailer.
Yeah.
Another one, and how this takes place like
The future, this takes place after the events of the last movie. What was the last one?
War of the Planet.
Yeah, War of the Planet of the Apes. And of course, you got my studio, 20th Century Fox. I'm not gonna call them studio. I can't wait to see this movie.
Yep.
I know this is gonna be directed by.
I did see all of these movies because it takes the continuation for this one.
But the thing that kind of holds it back is what's the story. Well, I know like it's Kingdom, but what certain kingdom it is.
Like where apes rule and
humans are apes, because in the last movie they did say that the virus that sort of mutated them has made them, us humans, turn primitive.
But they always think of, well, humans and apes
coexist. No. But I can't wait to see this movie.
Even if I see this movie.
Yeah.
That's my question.
But I can't wait to see that movie. Civil War, like I said, you know what? I'm gonna buy the poster.
If you find it.
I love this poster. Of course, we saw this at IMAX. And we got from the director Bullet Train, and with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt.
Originally, it would come out back then in March, so
they delayed it due to I believe the Writers Guild and the Actors Guild.
Yep.
But we got Universal Studios.
Comes out May 3rd.
And it's PG-13 and IMAX.
I nearly find this rated R when I first saw it, but
at first I thought it was rated R, but from the distance it's PG-13. But yeah, you know what? We need to go see a Dolby Cinema Theater one day. And they got Guy Ritchie's latest movie. All right, let's take a look at the other posters. And look who it is. We got our next movie, Twisters.
And not only that,
the original Mummy. I grew up with this movie.
For their 25th anniversary.
But the only downside with this movie, or with the poster, because I'm very protective of posters, is that they used the original or their newest Universal logo.
The current one, I would say.
Yeah. But I like this movie, and even the sequel, but the third one, nah, I didn't like it that much. But I'm excited to go see Twisters. Beetlejuice. We haven't done Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
The wait is almost over, and they're. I'll be honest. I never seen the original Beetlejuice.
I'm sorry, look, we don't
Yeah,
want people
I'll
to
be
see.
honest. We never seen Beetlejuice.
Well, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it if it our chances to see
I know.
the sequel.
I know Tim Burton is directing it, and it's
I
gonna.
like his films because
Yeah,
I'm a
I like
fan
Tim
of
Burton as a director. He's good, but he's not like my favorite current director.
Yeah, I grew up with
But we're gonna have Winona Ryder, Jennifer,
Jenna Ortega
Jenna Ortega, and of
Michael
course
Keaton.
Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice.
back at it again.
But I can't wait to see the movie, even though I haven't seen the original. I did see how the effects of the movie,
Yep.
but I have never seen the original Beetlejuice.
And I heard there was an animation show.
Oh yeah, there's a cartoon, but here's one character. But one of the actors, I won't go into detail because YouTube will copyright or will take down the video. But one of the actors is a current offender. Yeah, but yeah, I can't wait to see the movie. But let's take a look at the other ones. So we got Dragon's Keeper and Disney and Pixar, another Disney movie.
Yep.
Well, this movie is not going to go particularly well considering that every Disney movie is bombing.
True.
But yeah, these are the last posters. But let's conclude the vlog live. So yeah, that is our vlog live and our review of Civil War. I gotta say, this year of movies has been great, even though
Compared to last year.
compared to last year, which was a lackluster. Even though
I
there
wouldn't
were,
say it, but they had great movies like we.
but it's just mainly been Marvel garbage junk that Disney's putting out this year.
I prefer like watching like Oppenheimer and Godzilla -1.
The Creator and Saw X.
Saw X.
But yeah, so that is the vlog live, and what is our next movie we're gonna see? The Twisters. But we're gonna watch this on the biggest screen possible.
IMAX.
Wait, hold on. In IMAX, even if you don't see it, but yeah. You know what's funny is that like when we were watching the trailers, because movies, when we watched the Civil War, they put the Twisters. I'm like, yeah, this movie is gonna be epic.
Yep.
Because I miss disaster movies.
Same.
Well, yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoy that vlog live. We see you guys in the next video. Peace.